Hi guys, it's Claire's and welcome to another video tutorial with me. In this video we are going to learn how to paint something cute and whimsical and simple like this floral wreath. And I say cute and simple because if you really break this painting down, you'll notice that it's all about doing a flower on repeat in different varying sizes and with different colors. The leaves are fairly simple as well, and it's all repeated in a circular fashion. And again, you could use this technique to do a square, any other shape really that you want, and make it, yeah, you could even do alphabets actually. So there's an idea. But for now, we're doing a wreath. So to start off, I've got 3 different colors for the flowers. I've got one green, and then I've got a darker tone here. So this way, when I mix this darker color with the green, I'm able to get a second green. I've got 2 brushes. I've got a number 8 and a number 4, and water on the side and paper towel to dab any excess water. And so here we go. We are going to start off with using dominantly the number 4. I'm not even sure if I'll use the number 8 just because it's so big, but we'll see. I'm going to keep that on the side, and we're going to start off with doing the flower. So here's the flower that we're doing on repeat, and I'm going to start off by doing that in a nice beautiful scarlet red. And to create the flower, it's your simple 5-petal basic flower. Let's talk really quickly about mixing the colors. So when you're ready to mix the color, a little goes a long way. So I've just taken some color from there. I'll swish it around here, dip my brush in my water, which is off to the side here, and then go back here because now it's full of water. I'm going to mix it in with that red. And now I've got a good consistency where I can go in here and add some color. So here's what I'm going to do. Moving this aside so I have room. We're going to go ahead and hold our brush off to the side, like so, and we want to press down and create that first petal. Now, I'm going to dip the tip of my brush in water, come back, and do the petal on the other side. The reason I'm dipping the tip of my brush in water is so I can get a lighter version of that red. I'm going to dip it just a little bit more, touching a slight portion of that first petal. I'm going to do my next petal here. Notice how I'm kind of swishing the color up and down. I'm leaving white space in between. I'm dipping to get a little bit more water, but I'm getting some more color too, because we've done 3 petals at this point, and for sure we're going to need more color. For this last petal, I'm going to get a little bit of the orange on the tip of my brush without washing my brush off. And here we go. The center, we want the center to be a little bit jaggedy, so I'm just going to lightly, making sure I have a nice fine pointed tip, lightly pull down color, just like so, and then leave it. That's perfect. So now we're going to repeat this all around, or actually what you could do is do one big flower here, one big one here, another one here, like 3 different areas, and then do smaller versions of them all around. So keeping that in mind, let's just say I'm going to take a little bit of the red and I'll mix some of the yellow, maybe just to get like a more muted version of it. Let's see what that happens. We have orange already, but I don't want the exact orange. So here we go. I'm doing this a little bit faster now. Get a little bit of that red, drop it in there, and voila, because it's damp, you're getting that beautiful blend, right? I'm going to add my 4th petal, and then the 5th one can just be like a really thin sliver. This is a loose style of painting, and so it's really the color that tells the story and the fact that it's a flower. I'm going to go get some of the orange this time. Let's make the 3rd one to be a nice orange flower to the top here. In fact, before I start that, I'm adding a little bit of orange to this, and I'm just dropping it in the areas where the areas are damp. Okay, and now let's do that orange flower over here, like I mentioned. So again, feel free to go extra light and loose with your petals. You know, like this could be one that has the petal upward, so I'm just doing a little curve, and that's good enough. Make sure you got a nice center and you're good to go. Now at this point, you can use the leftover color that you have to just create tinier florals all around. So again, same thing, but on a smaller scale, and you're kind of going all around in a circle. Sometimes this will be hard to do, like if you have a glass or a cup handy and you want to just use that to lightly draw in a guide for your circle, that is helpful. Just a tip. And you can even have little loosey-goosey flowers like this because it's the color that's telling the story. I'm going to get more of that yellow. Let's disperse some of the yellow in here. And here we go. So this way we've got these tiny little yellow flowers really breaking up all the red and the orange that we have going on. And this is also very, very helpful in the large scheme of things to kind of give us a little bit of a break, partition between the main elements and the smaller elements. So you kind of repeat all around. You can throw in a little bit more of the reddish orangey flowers. Why not? I'm going to add some of that orange here. Notice I didn't mix my brush because all these three colors mixed together give you some really cute, pretty results anyways. So I know I'm just getting blends of that color happening within here. Throw in some of that red in here as well, maybe a little bit here. You know, just in the areas where it's nice and damp. And you'll notice when you touch up in certain areas that are damp, say if it's the same color and you're adding it back in, it gets you a darker tone. And that's mainly because when you layer with watercolor, it gets darker. It could be the same color, but because you're layering in that area, it gets darker. And so here we go. We are getting our beautiful wreath. And it's coming along nicely. I'm going to do a lighter version here. And literally at this point, I'm just going to lightly dab little strokes here and there to kind of indicate smaller florals. I'm going to get more of the yellow now because I feel like we have enough red orange. And then once I am content, we will go in for the green. So I think this is a good enough turnout with the flowers. Let's go for the green. I'm using the same brush, so I didn't end up using the number 8 at all. I'm going to start off with the lighter green, and all we're doing is pretty much like almond-shaped leaves. And if you're able to get a couple of leaves in between, that's okay. That would be great. That would be lovely, especially if it is damp and you're getting a little bit of a blend. And yeah, this is pretty much the whole concept behind our simplistic floral wreath. You learn how to do the flower, you learn how to do the leaves, and you're on repeat throughout. So I'm going to add some darker tone to this now. So I'm getting some of that darker color, adding it within the green, mixing the whole thing up. So now this is like super dark, but that's okay. Let's just get some leaves happening here and there, because sometimes you get leaves of a different color altogether, so why not? Helps to add a little bit of nice dark contrast within your painting. Gives a little bit of balance with all the bright colors in the flowers. So there we go. Happening here, there. And If you want to perfect your shape, like see this seems a little bit straight, you can either add more flowers or just add more leaves, whatever suits your fancy. But this is pretty much the whole idea. And then one more thing before we do a splatter. Get some of that dark color. We don't want too much water. We want more of a thicker color consistency here. So more color, less water. So I'm just mixing it in there. Add some in here, mix it about. This is perfect. And then I'm going to go in the center of my flowers and just lightly graze to create the center. And I'm still trying to leave as much white space as possible. So wherever we have the flowers, just lightly add a couple of especially the smaller ones, just add a couple of light dots. The bigger ones can be a little bit more all around, like little lines and then little dots for the bigger ones. For the smaller ones, it can just be like a couple of dots. You just want a tiny bit of pop from the center to show where your flowers are. And immediately look at this. Suddenly you can tell where the flowers begin and where they end. Which is a nice thing to sort of have, especially when it was all very, very just colorful blobs all around. Oh, here we go, one last one. And that's it, we are done. That's pretty much the whole idea behind this simple wreath. We've recreated this. Let's do the splatter. I just remember the splatter. I'm going to get the dark greenish color for the splatter. So all I'm doing is making sure I got enough color. You can see how this brush is a little bit fat because it's filled with water and color. Holding this brush like this, you're going to lightly tap. And here you go. So now this kind of looks like there's a bunch of flowers happening over there. I'm going to mix the red and get some of the red consistency happening to get some red flowers in there. Dip more to get water. Now you get like a lighter looking red because there's more water on your brush and less color. And here you go. You got like this beautiful, whimsical, simplistic watercolor wreath. And that's it, guys. Hope you guys like this. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what you thought. If you are on Facebook and Instagram, I would love to see your work, so please do tag me in it. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.